I have my students do a feedback cycle where whenever whatever feedback they get from me, they can push back against it. We conference over it, but they have to revisit it multiple times, and it becomes a part of their final assessment. And actually, we were talking about rubrics. I kind of go in the middle. I found that rubrics were limiting for some kids, but really helpful for others. So my rubric is a combination of standards that I have to hit for my school, but they also have their own goals. And then there's also the feedback that they get from their classmates and from me. And they actually recreate our own rubric as we're going through the unit to do that. The other thing I would add is that feedback shouldn't just be a big paper situation. It should be like something that we're doing on like a regular basis. So with like smaller things, and I call these are called flash feedback, which is the name of my book, and it's named after these. And I'll give you an example. We've been doing a unit on emphasis fairly recently, where we're talking about like the writer's tools for adding emphasis, whether it's in the positive or a colon or italicizing something or creating its own new paragraph with just like one sentence. And we talked about all these tools, and then what they did is they wrote a one-page rant on whatever they wanted. And I was like, it's a rant, you got to emphasize some things. So then they had 5 moments of emphasis, and they annotated like where they had them and how they used them. And I can look at that, and they've already pointed out the spots. And I can read that, and then, like I can open up their doc. I see exactly where they go. I can just kind of go, yep. Well, not sure about that one. And then I can toss it back to them, like, you got 4 out of the 5. And it's kind of a gradeless assignment, because until they kind of get 5 out of 5, they're actually not even going to get a grade in my grade book. So everybody's getting 100% on that. And so, but it's like it's this idea, and I can do that in 30 seconds. So I can do that. I can have my kids right there at the beginning of class. We'll do choice reading for 25 minutes, and then they have that feedback waiting for them when they finish, that. And then they have time to actually make changes if they need it, or they can just extend their choice reading if there's nothing to work on. And that means I'm not going home with anything. But it's also meaning that every single week, which this year more than ever has been essential because been remote most of the year, it's forming that bridge of connection time after time. And I see more growth in that than I did in an entire year's worth of me like putting colons into their work or circling something. So yeah.